Hello, today on Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner Cooking, we are going to be making a chocolate meringue pie. So here we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is make the crust first. And I am going to take 2 cups of flour. And 3/4 cup of lard, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to get right in there and show you what I'm doing here. You just want to get all that. You can use shortening too, but you just want to get all that incorporated into the flour. I always make extra crust because I want my the edge of my pie crust to be real fluffy. I'm going to work all that in there till you got like a meal. This was just room temperature lard, but you, like I said, you can use shortening too. And what you do for a cream pie, this is going to be a meringue cream pie. What you do for that is you chill the pie, and then you bake the meringue top for like 15-20 minutes on 350. And we're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful pie. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, see how it's kind of just like a meal? That's what you want. Get it all worked in there. And then you add your water. I add just a little bit on one side, a little bit more on the other, and till it wants to all incorporate. Just a little bit more, because if it's not wet enough, it'll all crack apart on you. And you don't want to overwork your crust. That is one thing you do not want to do. All right, see how it all went into a nice ball? That's what you want. And then you take your flour, put some flour on your counter. I better move that out of my way. You want to take your rolling pin, get some flour on it. I better keep my flour over here. And then take your pie crust out. See how beautiful that, nice and soft that is? That's what you want. Like I said, you don't want to overwork it. And then you roll it out. You want to always roll it, put a little more flour on it. You always want to roll it a little bit bigger than your pie plate. And you don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. If it's too thick, it'll be doughy. And if it's too thin, it won't hold your pie. You know, it won't hold the filling. I've been making these for so many years that I kind of know what thickness you want. And that's about the thickness you want right there. Then what you want to do is you want to fold your pie crust in half and then in quarters. And then you take your pie plate and you unfold it, kind of adjust it to where you want it to be. Like so. Make sure it's all in there. And then what you want to do is, I'm going to pull a little bit from over there and patch it on here. And you just want to start rolling it up like so. You don't want to keep squeezing it and squeezing it because that's what makes a tough crust. You just want to gently be rolling it up, and wherever it's missing, just kind of fill it in. See, I did a little bit extra, and I'm glad I did, because it's given me a nice edge for my pie. Like I said, you just fill it in wherever it needs it. I always roll it up because it makes it so that the juice doesn't escape, or whatever it is that you're putting in the pie plate. Then you just want to go around with your fingers like that, always keeping the pie crust within the plate, because if you have it overhanging, that's where it's going to burn. And I did a pecan pie when I was a young girl for Christmas, and I had the whole edge of it burnt, and I was a newlywed, and my in-laws kept teasing me that it was the honeymoon pie. But it wasn't. It was because I had crust overhanging the plate. When the heat comes up, you don't want it to hit the edge of that crust. And you just keep going around with your 3 fingers like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what makes it look homemade. You know, and just always, like I said, make sure it's all in there. Get your little crumbles out. And then what you want to do, when you want to do a baked pie shell, you want to take a fork and you want to fork it all around, sides and everything. And I'm going to do something a little different today, which I have not done before, and we'll see how it works out. I took my bigger pie plate, and I am actually going to put another pie plate into it, because I don't want it to fall down on me. So I'm going to take this pie plate and set it in there, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to bake this for about 20 minutes on 425, and I'll be back. Okay, while that's baking, I am going to start building my my goodies, the chocolate. So I need 3 cups of milk. Okay, put that in my pan. And then I'm going to add my 4 egg yolks. I've already separated them. This is going to be our meringue. So I've got 4 of these, which I'm going to put in there. And then I'm going to take 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just eyeballing it. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I don't have my burner on yet because I don't want to start it until I've got it whisked. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. Okay. 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. And then 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Okay, so I am going to be whisking this all up. Make sure I got my egg yolks in there. That was 4 egg yolks. And now I'm going to start my front burner on medium. And you cook this until it thickens. And I'm waiting on my pie crust. And once this gets boiling, I'll get back. And 3/4 cup of sugar. I don't think it would taste very good without the sugar. So I'm going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. There we go. Now we're all straight. Okay, this is starting to thicken up. I'm going to let it boil for like 1 minute. My pie crust is just about ready to come out of the oven. I baked it on 425 for 20 minutes. And when I do the meringue, it's going to go back in on a low oven for about 15 minutes. Let me shut that off. That's looking really good. Yum, yum. Chocolate meringue pie. Does it get any better than that? Okay. That's looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. I've got softened butter, so actually I'll use this. And my pie shell is ready to come out of the oven. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And I'm going to show you my pie shell. All right. I'm going to get that out of the oven. It's looking pretty good. I just did not want those sides to collapse. So now the trick is to be getting the pie plate out of it. I've never done that. Let's see what we got here. You know what? I'm actually going to let it cool for a minute, and well, you're probably going to want to see me do it. Like I said, don't always do what I do. But let me see. All right, I'm going to try to loosen it. I'm going to try to loosen it with a fork. Let's see if that works. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea, folks, but the meringue will cover all my imperfections. Okay, let's see. Come on, pie plate. There we go. I did it. And I'm going to try to grab this side so it doesn't. I did it. All right, guys. Now I'm going to take my pudding and I'm going to put my pudding in there like so. Oh, that's going to be so yummy. And since I've been trying to diet, you know I would never, ever have a piece of this. Oh my gosh. You know, I made chocolate pudding on one of my recipes, and I tried this recipe and it's better. So I think I'm going to go in and change my chocolate pudding recipe. Okay, now just gonna circle that around, and I am going to put this in the refrigerator for about an hour. So when I come back, we're gonna do the meringue top, and it's gonna be delicious. Okay, so now we're ready to do the meringue. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna mix 1/3 of a cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay, I've got the pie. It's been in the fridge for probably an hour and a half. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take and mix that all together. Then I'm going to take my egg whites. I've got my oven preheated to 325. So what you want to do is start getting your egg whites a little bit frothy. And then you want to slowly... You know what? I don't think I have a big enough bowl. Let me get a bigger bowl. This is probably too big, but all right. I'll try that again. You might be able to see easier this way anyway. So we're going to get these a little bit frothy. And we're going to add a pinch of salt, and then I'm going to slowly add my cream of tartar and my sugar and cornstarch mixture. And you want to do these to firm peaks. Oh, this is what you get when you get an antique mixer. They're coming. I don't want to overmix it. They say if you overmix it, it turns to butter. It's getting there. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about, what does it say, a teaspoon of vanilla. All right. Kind of turned it a pretty color. Okay, I think we got it. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to bring my pretty chocolate pie over, and we're going to put this on the top. I can kind of hide where I had the other pie plate in the crust. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle that all around. You see it okay? Circle that all around. And my oven's preheated to 325. And I'm just going to kind of dab this all around so it looks pretty. Add a little more right there. And I think we're good. I think you could play with it for a long time if you wanted to. I'm going to put this in my 325-degree oven, and it's about 20 minutes. Okay, it's coming out of the oven. Oh, look how pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut this right away or not, but I'm going to try. So wish me luck. All right. I think I'm going to go maybe over here. Let me see if it's ready to cut. Oh, it feels good. I want it to be pretty, so I'm going to cut it kind of big. And we'll see what we got here. Get my plate close. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful, 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 beautiful chocolate meringue pie. Look at this. Look at how pretty that is. I'm so happy. I probably should have let it cool, but anyway, that was my little video of my chocolate meringue pie, and I'm proud of myself. You know, with these videos, you never know. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it, like a chocolate meringue pie. And love the Lord with all your heart. Thanks for watching. Bye now.